Good morning, this is Dwayne, and lately we've been talking about 7th chords. We worked through all the different kind of chords, but we got to 7th chords and we found out that there's many different kinds of 7th chords. And just quickly to review, there's a major 7th chord which uses the 7th degree of the scale, and out of that we can make some beautiful runs like that. And there's minor 7th chords, which is a minor triad plus the flat 7th degree of the scale, and they're very mellow chords. Okay, and then there's dominant 7th chords. They're the pregnant kind of chord. They want to move, right? We said there's all kinds of dominant 7th chords. And then there's half diminished chords, which are like diminished 7th chords, but their 7th is different. I won't go into that because we've already reviewed that. That's a diminished 7th chord, and that's a half diminished 7th chord. So what I like to do now is just simply play through some song and talk about the different kinds of 7th chords that we would encounter. If we were going to play Misty, for example, we would start off with a major 7th chord like that. And the next chord we would have is a minor 7th chord. And then we'd have a major 7th chord. And that's a kind of diminished, that's a kind of 7th chord. A dominant 7th chord. It's got a 9th in it, but major 7th chord, minor 7th chord, minor 7th, dominant 7th, minor 7th, regular 7th, minor 7th. Okay, so there's all kinds of 7th chords in Misty. But how about some other song? Let's take an old tune such as Moonglow. Okay, it starts out with a minor 7th chord, and that's a dominant 7th chord, and that's a minor 7th chord, and that's a dominant 7th chord. The melody is a 9th, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a dominant 7th chord. And of course we can use color tones in it if we wanted to use a flat 5th. Now, watch this. That's just a major chord. That's a diminished 7th chord. That's a minor 7th chord, diminished 7th chord, and back to the tonic chord. Okay? Let me show you why that's a diminished 7th chord. Remember, diminished 7th chord is a stack of minor thirds, and that's exactly what we have there. It's over B flat, but that doesn't negate the fact that it's a diminished 7th chord. Okay? And that's a minor 7th chord, diminished 7th chord, and then back to the tonic chord. Back to minor 7th. That's a regular 7th chord. That's A flat 7th, by the way. I'm voicing it a little different. I have the 7th on the bottom and the 9th and the 6th up there. I haven't played this song in a long time, but anyway, I can barely reach that now. And then back the tonic. Or we can go to G minor 7th chord. Now that's a dominant 7th chord, but I've got the suspension in there, the 4th in place of the 3rd, which I'll resolve there. And at the same time I might go a little color, the flat 5th coming to the 5th, and then back to the minor 7th chord. Now in the bridge, watch this. That's B flat 7th. Now it comes down by half steps. It's all dominant 7th chord, A 7th, A flat 7th, G 7th. Okay, see that? It's just, if I just played it in root position, it would go like this. B flat, A flat, G. Okay? But voicing it, you get a little fuller sound. And then when you got there, you probably wouldn't go directly to the 7th. You probably use a suspension and then resolve it to the 7th chord and maybe do a half step slide like so into the next chord. Okay, well, that's a little exploration of all the seventh chords that you're likely to run into in pop music. Well, any kind of music for that matter, whether you're talking about classical music or jazz or gospel or whatever, because a chord is a chord is a chord is a chord, no matter what the genre. Okay, thanks for being with me, and tune in again tomorrow for another little tip like this. Come on over to playpiano.com and sign up for our series of tips. They're all free. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.